What's good, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with some more Nekroz combos. And today we're going to showcase you guys some Areadbhair combos, which I said in the last video that I would like to go in and touch more on, because now Areadbhair, before we got the new support, wasn't too great, but now it's very much so a pseudo starter if it's paired with the correct Nekroz cards, which are all insanely searchable, because there's like 9 ways to get to these cards, if not more. Anyway, if you guys enjoy this type of content, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and hit that join button and support the channel directly. Also, if you want to help support the channel, Dueling Guard launched their Grand Line collection. Head on over to their website, use code COG5 at checkout, or the link in the description. A small part of the revenue goes to the channel, and again, as I always say, everything that goes into the channel gets put back into it. So yeah, let's just go ahead and show you guys the combo. So today we're just going to start with Ariel here and Areadbhair. I did make a big change to this list. I might do a huge discussion video talking about the approach now. I decided to forsake what I thought was the correct way, which was board breakers, for more hand traps. And I mean, I'll do a whole video explaining that, but essentially I got tired of getting interacted myself because I didn't play hand traps, eating hand traps and ending on like half boards and not having hand traps plus my in board to counteract the opponent. Instead, I'm looking at said board breakers in the hand. Every now and then, you know, I'd get lucky and draw into essentially a super poly or like a droplets, and it wasn't super terrible, but they just really felt very lackluster compared to having like something like Ash Blossom and or Imperm, Droll, etc. But today's combo is very important because even if you aren't playing hand traps and you are playing board breakers, when you go into the post side, you want to be able to draw into your side deck cards. So both these combos are going to end on the same thing, where you end on Areadbhair plus a draw 2, and you get to add back 4 cards. So a huge shout out to my comment section. I can't remember your name at the moment, but you know who you are. You showed me the combo sequence with Areadbhair plus Ariel, and I decided to sit and think, because I wasn't a big fan of Ariel, but I was like, man, can you do the same combo with Shurit? And sure enough, stuck at work, I was able to calculate the line. I was able to figure out you could do the same combo sequence with Shurit, and I think it's very worth mentioning, because in those all-important game number 3s, you really need to see your side deck. Or maybe you've been hand-trapped to death, and you're able to essentially draw 2 to replenish your hand, which draws you into more non-engine, more powerful extenders, etc. So we'll go ahead and start this combo. It's Areadbhair plus Ariel. So you're going to start this combo by pitching Areadbhair, tributing the Ariel to send Nekroz Mirror. Ariel will trigger, adding you advance. So when Ariel is tributed for card effect, she allows you to add any Nekroz non-ritual monster, which of course advance. We'll go ahead and banish the Mirror and the Areadbhair to go ahead and add herself a Nekroz spell. We'll go ahead and add Nekroz Divine Mirror. Still a huge crime they did not print this in secret out of everything. But you're going to normal summon advance and trigger his effect to go ahead and summon out your Amelia. Amelia here is going to go ahead and add yourself Valkyris, which I think it's very important that this deck does play Valk. At the very early pre-testing, pre-release, I was debating cutting this card because I was like, oh, the battle phase doesn't matter anymore. I totally was wrong. The battle phase does come up, and you almost always are going to use Valkyris in some form or fashion to be able to protect your Unicorn, because sometimes Unicorn is all you got and it's just enough, but they're able to use their extra deck to climb into something bigger than 2300. So being able to stall for a turn just allows you to potentially make a comeback and everything. So anyway, we get to right here. You're going to go ahead and activate the Divine Mirror, tributing off the Amelia. It's important you do Amelia here to tribute out for Valkyris. You go ahead and use the Divine Mirror, banish itself and the Amelia to go ahead and add yourself Kaleidoscope. So the reason you want to add Kaleidoscope is because you're in this particular hand in the combo sequence, you have so many ways to get into Unicorn, so it's just smart to go ahead and add this. Also to deck thin, you could also add Cycle, but it just makes more sense to add Kaleidoscope because you could draw into your, your Unicorn plus Claws list, and Kaleidoscope becomes huge. You could draw into a plethora of things. It's just smart to get access to Kaleidoscope, so you have the ability to get access to Unicorn if you draw. We go and activate Valkyris effect, tribute itself in the advance, and before someone comments Ash Blossom, all this type of stuff, if they didn't ash you before this, man, then they knew. They're Nekroz experts. They knew what you're going for. You get to draw 2 cards, and then you get to trigger the advance, adding yourself back these 4 cards right here. So we started with 5 cards, which is right here, and now we've gone plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've gone plus 5. And before you continue on, activate Amelia to special summon herself. Because we did not use her effect to special summon her, we used advance. So then you can go ahead and use the Nekroz Mirror here, using the full tribute of Amelia to go ahead and summon out Areadbhair. And at bare minimum, guys, you have Areadbhair plus a total of 6 cards in your hand, 7 cards in your hand, and like essentially you started with 5. You know what I mean? You've gone like so much plus. So this is where if your draws or your opening hand was like pre-prep Brionac, etc. You could go further because you could use Kaleidoscope to summon, but at the end of the day, we're just here trying to show you what we get at the bare minimum here. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and shuffle this up, and when I shuffle it up, we'll go ahead and go on to the next combo, which will be Areadbhair plus Shurit. Okay, guys, so here we go to the next combo, which will be Areadbhair and Shurit. I think Areadbhair is so strong, guys. Like, it's such a powerful pseudo starter, but something that you guys should know is, like, Areadbhair has to be paired with Shurit, Ariel, the Great Sorcerer, to receive like maximum value, and that's why I believe the card should be like a 1 or 2 of. You could maybe push it to 3, but I think you'd end up bricking on it more so than not, just because like the dump effect's cool, but you really want those like reoccurring effects to get pluses, because since we're a ritual deck, we still need 3 components to make us work: the ritual spell, the tribute fodder, and then the ritual monster. So you need to have those iterations. But if you are playing all 3, I think you could very well bump up Areadbhair to play it as a 2 of, because then you have again a pseudo starter, and these 2-card combos become up pretty consistently, because there are some ways that they can be deviated to play with using Brionac to search any of the missing pieces that you have. And then, of course, then you go down the whole decision tree and the skill trees and like the whole combo trees, and it's never ending. This deck is so not linear that I love it. But anyway, on to the combo here. You're going to go ahead and activate Nekroz of Areadbhair, discarding itself and then tributing the Shurit to go ahead and Foolish the Divine Mirror. Shurit will trigger, adding us Brionac. Go ahead and use Brio, discard it to add Advance. Right here, we'll go ahead and banish the Mirror and the Areadbhair to go ahead and search out a Nekroz spell, which will be our Divine Mirror. We go ahead and normal summon our Advance, triggering the effect to summon. Something to talk about is that you could potentially... the sequence can deviate here, especially if they try to Imperm Advance. You do have the ability to chain Divine Mirror to dodge Imperm to resolve this to summon a Areadbhair, and then your entire hand, depending, your combos can change that way. But that's okay. Summon out the Emilia to go ahead and grab us Valk. Then you go ahead and, again, very similar to the first combo, activate Divine Mirror, tributing the Emilia, summon out Valk, and then you go ahead and banish the Divine Mirror. And then this is where your option can change in a way. You need to either banish Emilia or banish Shurit, one of the two. But we'll just go ahead and banish Emilia. But both will fulfill the role, right? To go ahead and search out our... oh no, we goofed. There it is. To go ahead and search out our Nekroz Kaleidoscope. Again, like the first combo, you want to search out Kaleidoscope in the sequence just because the likelihood of drawing into the cards to get to it is higher. Given we've already exhausted Brio in this combo, you still could draw into Prep, and then you could still draw into like Nadir's Servant. You could still draw into like different things like that to be able to get you to the cards you're trying to seek. So then we'll go ahead and activate the Valk, tributing itself and the Advance to go ahead and draw 2 cards. And then, of course, the Advance will trigger, adding back as many banished cards as we can, which will be these banished cards. Then you go and activate the Emilia to special summon itself, and then you can go ahead and use Nekroz Mirror here to tribute itself and summon out the Areadbhair. So again, you draw 2 and establish Areadbhair at the bare minimum, and then hand depending, whatever you draw, whatever you open with, you get to more. If you like pair these 2 combos with Nadir, so a 3-card combo in a way, you're able to draw 4 cards if you send the right cards with like Nadir and Maximus. So it's kind of wild, and it's kind of like you just need to know it, just because side deck is going to be pretty crucial against playing against these tough matchups and everything. But yeah, that's all I got for today, guys. Please remember, if you guys enjoy this content, comment down below. Let me know other sequencing and other lines that you guys have been able to figure out, because the deck, I said before, is like so not linear, and I enjoy seeing everyone's own personal takes, everyone's own personal combos and everything. But yeah, most importantly, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. This is Charles from Team COG signing out.